done.
It's that little gay talk show. Houston's hot mess of a podcast. A funny but thoughtful look at the LGBTQIA plus community.
Hey everybody, I'm Joel Tatum, and I'm wearing headphones.
I'm Julio Briseño. I like big butts, and I cannot lie.
I'm Max Xandaux, and I like Turkish food.
Oh, look at that. Welcome to another episode of That Little Gay Talk Show.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Yes, we're on the go, on the road.
We're in a cute, interesting little location. I ain't gonna lie.
Y'all should see this house.
I thought we was at the museum.
Exactly. The art is freaking, I'm going to say fucking amazing.
And we'll show you in the video, we'll show you some highlights of the house. It's just art everywhere, hung up on every wall and every nook and cranny corner. And they're all unique pieces. Nothing's the same, as far as I can tell.
And in the restroom, too.
And by the way, Joel, do you want to introduce our guest?
She already introduced herself. Max?
Formally, do you want to introduce the queen herself?
Max Xandaux.
Hi.
Oh, the queen herself? I thought you were talking about me. I said I already did that.
There can only be one, Joel. There can only be one. But no, today we have the pleasure of having Max Xandaux here with us today.
She's an artist. She's a performer. She's a musician. She's a nerd.
She is a lint licker.
She's a cat lover. She's a Star Wars freak. She's everything, girl.
And that's on God. And that's on period.
She's so cute.
Ladies, what y'all do this weekend? What we do today?
Let's let Max go first.
Max, what'd you do this week?
Max,
Fill us in on your week leading up to this podcast.
Actually, I did some other podcasts, some Star Wars.
Nice.
One Star Wars podcast.
I saw the Vision on. I started watching it. Let's just say that on Disney Plus.
Which one?
The first 3 episodes. The first episode was my favorite. The duel. Oh, I love the artistry. Yeah. I loved everything they did on that. Have you seen those yet?
No, I'm. Actually,
that's because you can't afford Disney Plus, and I get it, Joel. You're struggling as an artist. I'll give you my password, sweetie.
I actually was watching The Mandalorian and fell in love with The Mandalorian.
That is a good show. That is a phenomenal show.
I was a little messed up by the end because I'm like, wait a minute. I'm confused about the timeline. What is Luke Skywalker doing here? If y'all, I'm sorry, spoiler alert.
Spoiled for everybody.
Look, I'm sorry.
Yes.
No, you should have already seen it.
Y'all should have already seen it.
Okay, honestly. He came in at the very end, and it was CGI Luke.
It was CGI Luke, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Baby Yoda was cute. Yes.
My baby.
I found out that Donald Glover, the actor, had a conversation with the director of Star Wars, and originally he was going to come out with Baby Yoda as the promo thing for it, and he actually told him, no, don't do that. Hold Baby Yoda back. Let that be a surprise reveal for everybody. So he took Donald Glover's advice and said, okay.
But that's not
Donald
actually
Glover?
The artist, the rapper, Childish Gambino.
You mean,
that's the same, right? Is it? It is, yeah.
It's Donald Glover.
No, it's not. Donald Glover is...
Let's
look at
everybody Google it.
Yeah, Google it.
Let's get Google out.
Is it not Donald Glover? It's
Donald Glover.
Is it Donald Glover?
I think so. Childish Gambino. Long story short, Childish Gambino's a regular.
It's Donald Glover.
I'm thinking of the actor.
The older actor, the older gentleman.
Know this.
Yes.
It's Donald Glover.
That guy.
See, I told you it was Donald Glover. I told you.
I stand corrected.
Childish Gambino, whatever y'all want to call him. I mean, he's a genius.
You passed my ninja test.
He's a genius singer, artist. He
is.
Maxie's just like you.
He's better.
And a nerd. Although he
was in a movie. He was in Star Wars.
Oh my God. You know the best movie he was ever in? Huh. It was oh my God.
Solo, a Star Wars star.
No, not Solo. He actually wrote and directed a little movie when I think he was 17 or 18. And it was called Mystery Team.
On Pornhub or?
No, not on Pornhub.
Oh.
It was Mystery Team.
I think I have the wrong storyline.
Mystery Team is about a group of teenagers who used to be detectives when they were kids. And then they grew up in the real world and had to solve a murder. And shit got all over the place.
They grew up.
Yes. It was the most amazing thing.
Nastiest shit ever.
Yes. I suggest the two of you look for it. It is an amazing film. And it was his first time writing and directing. I think he wrote, directed.
I'm gonna add it right now. Alexa, add said film to the kill.
Mystery Team. Mystery Team.
Siri,
Watch.
remind me to watch the shit.
If a true nerd would watch the fuck out of this movie, it is an amazing movie. It is hilarious.
There you are.
It is amazing. Oh,
He's ready for the interview.
oh my God. We are currently we are at
My friend Michelle's house.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Michelle is hot, and I lost all
He's
words.
a little daddy. He knows he is.
He's a hot daddy.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
You single or what?
And he's from Belgium.
To sponsor a foreign exchange student or no?
And he's from Belgium, and he's got that French accent going on, and I'm like,
He does. Can you imagine that accent in the middle of the heat? Just,
I can imagine that.
yes, Zati.
I can imagine that.
Take this dick. Take it.
Under me,
I hope that's a good French accent.
while I'm on my
It's
knees.
it's okay.
It's a terrible
It's
accent.
doable for an American.
It's a terrible accent. You know what? Aren't you?
You know what?
You should have just gone with your Venezuelan accent. Don't you have a Venezuelan accent?
So you want me to be ethnic? Do you want me to go back to my roots? You want me
Go
to be
back to
that
your
girl?
roots.
What roots? That was Candy Darling.
Okay. What roots?
You know what? We are doing an episode on the couch, which I have never.
I fucking love this, by the way.
Me too.
We need to incorporate couches moving forward to any podcast. Like, I'm digging this vibe.
The only problem is that when I work on the audio and in post,
We can see your camel toe. Yeah.
the audio in
Not yours,
post
sweetie.
is going
His.
to.
He also has a camel toe.
I said the audio, not the video. Good Lord.
Did you see Max's reaction?
I'm like, what? I know. She went, what
Again?
the?
You can see it? Yes, sweetie. I meant to tell you earlier.
No, she didn't. She
But
wanted.
for the entertainment value, we left at.
Exactly. She wanted all of YouTube to see your camel toe and judge you by your camel toe, girl. Because you know the comments, this bitch had a camel toe. Oh my God. Did you see her camel toe? It was fucking amazing.
And then the camel toe will have its own OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And it's on YouTube show, and girl, it'll blow.
Get it, mamas. No, but I'm definitely digging this couch vibe. I think we should incorporate a couch moving forward because this is relaxing. Usually we sit at a table, which the table is cute and all, but like this, every once in a while we got to switch it up.
But I'm thinking about all this stuff on a technical, in technical terms, because I'm like, you know what, I need to have mic stands, or we need to do wireless, or we need to do something like. See, in my head, I'm already thinking about the possibilities on how to make this even better.
What I need Misha to do is turn the AC on, if that's possible. Can you send him a text?
I'm sweating a little bit.
Send him a text. Be like, Papi.
It might be the amount. We have the red cups today.
We have light.
We have the red cups today,
I just turn
so
that fan on myself.
it might be the.
Okay.
It might be the amount of bourbon that you put in these cups.
I sure did.
This girl,
yes, I poured
comes
it
up
in.
to me.
I'm not drinking whiskey. I'm drinking.
I'm already, bitch. I'm already a third over. I've been drinking. This whiskey's hitting me right now, low key. Okay. So you might see drunk Julio.
We're not gonna get through this interview.
We'll make it just fine. But no, so Joel, tell me what did you do this week? How was your week so far leading up to this podcast?
Okay, everything leading up to this podcast for me.
Bitch, by the way, you were excited as hell for this podcast. He was. By the way, Max, he was really, really excited about it. Yeah. He sent me so much information. He was like, girl, like, I'm excited. We're going to talk. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Like, I was like, girl, he's really passionate about this.
Because I wanted to because I knew that Max would make this episode.
Yes. Joel speaks very highly of you, by the way.
This could be the episode where she gives us a viral video.
Okay, bet. I'm about that life.
This could be the episode.
What you're not going to do, Max, is upstage me on my own shit. Because I'm not that girl. But I'm kidding. Everybody got real quiet. I was like, just joking, y'all.
You know, Max, you probably already did just with the looks alone. Because all he did over there was talk, and you were, okay.
Actually, I'm
going to make you a shirt that says,
I'm a very sweet person, though.
I see that. Yeah.
We do see that.
I really
Spell sweet, honey.
SEKTIL.
Sweet. 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 I knew it. You're sweet. You're that girl. What about you, Max? How was your week, baby? What'd you do this week leading up to the podcast?
I was on.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh,
No, girl. We moved on.
He asked me first.
Well, I sure did. Ladies
hold on.
first.
You literally asked me what I did,
And you didn't answer fast. And you did not answer fast enough, so I moved on.
This bitch interrupted
like
the
my
entire
relationships.
time.
I just moved on.
Oh, don't say. Oh, please don't say. Oh,
The shade that goes on.
don't the shade, girl. Don't throw no shade on the air.
No, not at all.
Don't throw it.
So, Max, how was your week?
It was good.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
Oh wait.
Go, girl.
Wait, didn't we talk? Yeah, you asked me, and I said that I was on 2 Star Wars.
Yes.
Podcasts, and then we started talking about Vision.
Yes, we did. That's what
See,
happened. And we got
tangent.
told. Yes. We did. Which we do that a lot here. We'll start one topic and end up in a complete opposite topic. And by the time we come back, we're like, what were we talking about?
Rewind.
So you were on 2 different podcasts. Do you want to shout them out? See who they are? Or?
Yeah, from MakingStarWars.net on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun. I had a lot of fun. Actually, me and my...
Now, what was the show about? Was it like just fandom talk?
Well, the first one we talked about... we did a reaction, or not a reaction, but like impressions of Visions.
Okay.
Because we watched all of them.
Oh, okay. And by the way, they're like 15-minute episodes, which I loved.
Yeah. Oh,
that was badass.
And that's where I'm wearing a Visions t-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
She's that girl.
This is from The Forced Bride.
La Pulga?
Did you see that one?
No, I did not.
No,
one of the episodes.
Yeah,
because I found out that each episode is directed by different anime directors.
Yeah.
So it gives each episode its own look, aesthetic, feel, and
Wait.
vibe.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you use the term anime?
I
I'm
did.
not watching this.
Exactly.
It is on-
Okay, you know what?
Because we remember earlier we said you couldn't afford Disney Plus, and you had no access to it. But now that you're interested in stuff, I might just like let you use my password and stuff.
And then I said I'm watching The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah. He's
And
already watching it.
So you got somebody else's password, is what I'm understanding.
no. Thank you, Chris, for your.
You're welcome. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you, Chris, for your contribution to me watching Disney Plus. Which, by the way, his contribution ended a month ago, so now I'm paying for Disney Plus.
Okay.
Password expired.
Yeah, password
The
expired.
free trial is no longer a free trial.
And then I
mamas.
started getting into what if. So after that, I was like, I got to pay for
They're
it.
bringing some cute shows on Disney Plus, though. They really are. I'm
They-
gonna need you to tell Misha to turn this AC. Isha, mamas, daddy.
It is warm, isn't it?
It
Girl,
is.
we're sweating bullets up in here. I'm gonna sweat this
It
perm
is.
out.
It is a little.
If you don't hurry the fuck up and get on the F up, please.
Okay.
It's his house.
It's his house.
And what? And what about it?
Okay.
I'm looking at the second story. People are like, "What's he looking at?" I'm looking up there. He's talking. He's upstairs. That's what I'm yelling at.
Oh my God, he is having a good time
And this whiskey is
because that whiskey is hitting. You know
And
that.
so,
It's really good, though.
so Max, what other podcasts did you do? You said you did 2 of them, I think, right? You did.
So the first one was the Star Wars Visions, impressions, and then the next one was talking about how I use Star Wars in my fashion, in my
as
outfits.
as your
There's a lot of
aesthetic.
people that
how you
Yeah.
incorporate it, how it influences you, inspires you, and how
No,
does
like
it?
what I actually wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? Explain that to me.
So some of the pieces that I have, like
Wait, do you make like your own
No.
custom pieces? Or?
I work with Jen Martini, who's one of the fashion designers.
Okay.
I don't think Tony Rio's done any. No, he hasn't done any Star Wars stuff. But like for example, there's this one Inquisitor's mask from Star Wars Rebels,
Okay.
and I spray painted it black, and then I used them as shoulder pads.
Nice. Nice. Do you have pictures of this stuff? Do you have an Instagram?
Yeah,
What is your Instagram? Tell the people.
I'm Xandaux.
Yes,
And,
queen.
it'll be listed on the.
Yes, yeah. I'll post a link like right below, right here when they're watching it. Like right here, y'all. Dang.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's lots of different things that I.
Do you usually make your own fashion? Do you?
Oh no! So sometimes I'll go to the designer with some ideas, and then other times,
I'm getting the sense you have a lot of designer friends.
no, I have 2 or 3. Yeah.
Did y'all hear that?
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle.
I have none. And if somebody could be my designer friend, that would be lovely. Because Julio over there keeps complaining every time. If I put on an outfit, he goes, "Okay, you gonna wear that?"
Legit.
And I'm like, "Yes, I'm gonna wear this."
You remember we're gonna be on camera, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what he
he's
says.
like in
and
a
I'm
wife
like,
beater,
I'm
in his
okay.
underwear, and he's like, "What? What's wrong with this?
What's wrong with it?" I'm like, I feel
mama.
good. I look good.
Yeah, in your own home.
And yes, and I'm like, I don't understand what the problem is. What is the problem here? So I guess I'm going to need.
That's a different podcast.
The problem is,
So I'm going to need a fashion expert who comes over to my house before every show and tells me, nope, yes.
Me for free.
Nope,
Period.
nope, yes.
So Max,
Yeah.
Are you okay? So explain to me. Do you have the fashion designer friends?
Yeah.
Or do you have friends? Do
Do
people actually like you outside of this?
Yeah, they do. I'm a very friendly person.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you got connections with people. You can just call them directly and say, "Hey, by the way, I'm thinking about creating this, or this is my inspiration right now."
Yeah, and it costs this much. And I'm like, okay, let me get back to you in a few weeks.
A year later, 1 year later, I'm here. I'm ready.
Actually, when I first started doing my art, I'm going to back up for a second. This is a nice segue. So I started off as a self-portrait artist.
Okay.
And I would use myself, pictures of myself, and I would use computer art, whatever, and
Digital design.
yeah, digital, and so to create different imagery, and so it started off there, and then I ended up meeting. Well, actually, I met my friend Tony Rio before that, and I already knew that he did fashion.
Okay.
And I had secretly. Yeah, that's why I said thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
He finally turned on the AC. I don't know if he finally heard me yelling. The voice, the echoes got to
But
him.
I was saying,
Because, girl,
Yeah.
you're so rude. But go ahead.
Ma'am. She was in the middle of sharing her life story with us.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Period.
So I secretly had wanted, Tony to make me something, and I didn't ask him at that time for various reasons. But then after he started seeing what I was doing, he's like, "Why don't I start making you some costumes, and then we could work together and photograph."
Tell me
that
about Tony. What does Tony do? What's his style? Where do we find him? I'm not familiar with him. I'll be honest.
Tony Rio. No, he's not really active on social media.
Okay.
With his art, his fashion.
Fashion.
He did.
He doesn't feel like
several
he has
years
to.
ago.
Okay.
Because he was focused on his fashion. He did fashion shows.
Is he a Houston-based designer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what's his style? Is it more like dark, commercial?
No,
is it more private, piece by piece, couture?
It's a bit of everything.
Is he avant-garde? Is he
That too. Oh God.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What happened?
I burped, I guess.
In my face.
Oh my
I'm
God,
sorry.
Joe.
Did I do it in your face? I did not mean to do it in your face.
Just kidding.
Okay.
Something came out.
I was trying to do it this way.
I'm still teaching.
And-
she was
okay.
born in a barn, and so I'm teaching this little calf
He
too.
was born in a manger.
Go ahead, girl. Just tell your story, girl. You were talking about your designer.
Yeah. So
You mad, sis? Are you mad?
No, I'm not mad. I just want her to tell the story because I'm interested.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but so we started. He made me some, outfits. We collaborated on photographs on like a photo shoot, and then I would go and.
Is that typically like your working style, where you'll collaborate, or do you feel off of energy based on people?
That was the beginning. I haven't. So we did that at first, and then Maripole actually suggested I continue using photograph myself.
Okay.
To do that.
And for those that don't know, who is Maripole?
Maripole is she's an artist herself. She's very well known for her Polaroids.
Mm-hmm.
She photographed the 1970s disco scene.
Okay.
And
Wow.
she was actually Madonna's first stylist. She's the one that made the rubber bracelets.
You were telling me about that, and I didn't know that far back into the culture that that she was the one that created those, and then you told me that it got ripped off after that.
Yeah, after that, everyone ripped off. You remember Madonna's rubber buttons?
Yes, I remember that.
I'll look them up, and I'll post a picture for reference.
Well, I'm sure all of y'all know who Maripole or who Madonna is.
Yeah. Who's Madonna?
I have no idea who
Friends with Ariana.
So yeah, that's.
How you feel about Madonna's new look?
She looks great.
Have you seen her most recent stuff?
Yeah.
Her recent work done?
Yes.
Girl, looks stretched out. I love Madonna. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on her, but I just feel like she got to that point where like her face is like this.
I know. I think that's
and I'm
fine.
like, girl.
I think it's fine.
Well,
if you can afford it, get it.
Well,
not everybody can be Cher. So Cher at 80. I saw Cher live.
Yeah.
And Cher at 70 in a leotard with black hose.
And she still rocked it, huh?
Rocked it like a 25.
Yes, girl.
And Madonna did too?
Yes, she does. Yes. Mm-hmm. She still puts on really... I've seen some of her concert footages on YouTube, and they're like, she puts on a phenomenal fucking show. Like, the whole aspect from beginning to end, like... Your money is well worth it.
Yeah, she's amazing.
It's not like most artists that just come out on stage now, have maybe a basic ass backdrop, and they go, "This is me."
I got to meet her, or I said something brief to her, and she said, "Thank you," or she said, "You're welcome."
Oh, thanks, girl.
Mm-hmm.
You remember me? He's like, "No, I'm sorry. What's your name again?"
Max
Who are you, sweetie?
No,
wait, where did you meet her?
In Florida it was at an event.
Nice. Well, let me find out you're over here mingling with the stars and everybody. And
well, so this is... I don't really want to talk about this.
Tell stories.
Tell the stories.
Tell stories.
So once upon a time...
You don't have to say names. Just
No. Once upon a time I did study Kabbalah.
Okay, yes. Yes.
And actually that's where I met Tony. And I did that for a few years. And... believe it or not, it was I was taking like classes like really late. Like I think they started after midnight, and they were just really intense and deep and stuff. And
what does a class entail? Like what's in?
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay,
but no, it's just a lot.
You know what? I'm sorry, Hula. I know I haven't said much, but because I'm trying to listen to what's going on with her.
Yeah.
But I felt like there's an intensity to
Kabbalah.
No, to the story that you're telling, because there's a little bit of
hold back.
There's a little bit of waterworks going on.
Uh-oh.
I mean, when you were telling the story,
but she's sweating. She's sweating. She ain't crying. She's sweating. It was out of here.
I was getting worried because
No.
I was like, "What did they do to you, girl?"
No.
Was it
Oh
a
my
cult?
God.
Were you in a cult?
No.
Blink twice if you need help.
Well, I mean, she literally. Well, I think for me it was. I don't really want to talk about it. And I'm like,
the reason I say I don't want to talk about it is because I don't want to go into a conversation about spirituality. It's just whatever. So it was, I did that for a few years, and actually, because of a class that we took, or just one little part of the class that I got from it was, why do you get an idea, and it only stays at a potential state if it's only an idea. If you don't manifest it, that's when I started doing my art.
This is, the beautiful thing is that this is where you know what? I've talked about this 1,000 times. I've been doing this now for almost 3 years. And I didn't tell Julio this, but we actually,
You're
the show
gay?
actually reached...
You're gay? No.
The show actually reached an achievement. We have now had 10,000 downloads.
Nice.
And...
when did that happen?
It happened today.
That's badass. That's awesome.
It happened today.
Okay.
But I think I understand what you're talking about, because when you sit around with a bunch of people and you talk about ideas, and they talk about all the ideas that they have and all the stuff that they want to do, and then you come to the point where, with me, it was, hey, I know how we can make this work. Yeah. That idea was fantastic. I have a whole thing, a whole outline of how we can make this work and everything else. And then it was just an idea, and I don't think I'm ever going to do it. Yeah. And
that's why I like to surround myself usually with people who are doers.
Yeah.
And if I come to people with collaboration projects, because in my mind, I'm ready to go. Let's just do this shit. Let's get it started. Let's make it happen. But there's nothing that annoys the fuck out of me is when you have ideas, you bring it to the people that you know this will benefit, or if the collaboration will be fucking awesome, and they're just like half-assing, like, I'll get around to it whenever. Let's do it next week. And next week comes, I'm busy. Sorry.
The good thing, you should always do something when you feel inspired to, and not. I'm a big believer now, not doing something out of like forcing yourself.
Yeah.
You have to feel it.
I get a lot of creative frustrations because the people that I encounter, I'll throw the ideas out and I'm like, I have the equipment, I have the things, let's do this, let's do that. And I get the responses are very like, I mean, okay. Or let's do it next Tuesday. And then next Tuesday come, hey, I'm ready to do it. What's up? What's going on? Oh, I forgot. You told me about, you did, my bad. I'm just like, bitch.
You know what? Let's take it to another perspective. When I am talking to someone who has that artistic idea, and as me, I'm not an artist, and I know that I'm not an artist. But when I hear someone who has a fantastic idea about wanting to do something, and then I go, hey, I thought about your idea.
Yep.
And I figured out 15 different ways we can make it happen.
Yep.
And then they go, you know what? No, it was just an idea at that moment. I'm not going to make it happen.
Yeah, because when I'm with Joel, and
it's frustrating to me because
I'm one of those people, I like to think of creativity at all times. So I'll throw 20 things at him at once. He's like, shit, what the fuck?
But at the same time, when you're the artist, or when you're someone who believes in the artist,
right,
or someone who wants to sponsor, I always feel like I always want to sponsor the artist.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like, because I had a slight writing career. It wasn't very successful. I let it go. I came to terms with it and it was fine. But I always realized that I could help someone else.
Yeah.
If I heard a fantastic idea and I wanted to help someone else realize that idea, then I said, you know what? I will help you realize that idea. You tell me what you need and I'll make sure it happens. I think my biggest frustration is that when I say those words, that's when they back down and say, I don't
follow
want to do
through. When you actually show support, when you actually encourage them. So some people, the thing is, some people
they don't want to do it.
Yeah, or some people aren't used to that encouragement. They're used to hearing the no's and the hate, or why are you doing that, making made fun of. So when somebody comes along and says, no, I believe in what you're saying, it's like, who are you? What do you want? What is this about? What is this really about?
Yeah.
It's me trying to help you do your thing, and
so.
Yeah.
So Max, to bring it back maybe a little bit, cause I'm trying to get your story in order. I'm trying, because we are all over the place. So when did your artistic career start? And what was the catapult? What was the reason? And then let's start from there, because I kind of want to hear your story, but in order.
Well, when I was a kid, I drew. I was really good at copying. Like if I saw a comic,
tracing.
No, not tracing. Like I would copy. I would open it and just copy it.
Okay, nice.
So actually, I was really good at that. And my mom thought, she's like, oh,
saw your.
She's like, yeah, our child's gonna be an
artist.
An artist in the sense of like drawing.
Yeah.
And now, I think if I practiced it, I could probably do it better. You know what I mean? I mean, because I can kind of do it, but it would just...
Have you fallen out of practice? You just don't draw as much as you used to? Or?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll doodle, and... Yeah, but not to the extent of doing something big.
So as a kid, you start out drawing, you doodled around, people around you recognized that you had talent.
Yeah.
How did you move that forward?
So then, I want to say when I was in middle school. Well, let me back up. That's not true.
Elementary school?
I would always put on shows, for my family.
Oh, wow. At a younger age?
Yeah, I would.
Would you dress up, or you just perform for your family?
Well, so I would actually, when my mom was gone, I would...
Sneak in the closet?
Yeah, I'd sneak in the closet. I would...
Put on her heels.
I would put on her high heels.
Yes.
I would wear... Oh, God, I'm going to tell my age. I would... Do you remember those...
Say it, girl.
Those Halloween,
Say it, girl.
Do you remember those Halloween costumes where they had plastic pants?
I'm trying to remember.
They're like vinyl pants.
I want to say,
no,
yeah.
Just like a full costume. Say it's...
Like a kid's costume?
Yeah, a kid's
or...
costume.
Oh, okay. The little plastic costumes. Yeah.
So I would put on the pants. Mm-hmm. Like I forgot what costume it was, but I put on the pants because they were tight and they were plastic. And I would put on my mom's high heels. And I would put on Grease.
In the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, our actual Grease on...
No. Grease, the movie.
Oh.
The soundtrack.
Crisco?
Oh!
Crisco or the movie?
No,
Olivia Newton-John?
Yes,
or
yes.
Got it.
Yes. And
That was your inspo?
Yeah, well, I wanted to be her. So I would, go in the living room and dance.
Mm-hmm.
And,
That's not telling your age, sweetie. Anybody could have watched.
no, there was something else I was going to say. So I refrained.
Don't hold back, mamas. Don't do it.
So, what else did I do? So I would do that, and then I remember I was at the YMCA for camp, and they had a variety show, and
Ooh, like a talent show.
Yeah.
Yes, I love talent shows back in the day.
So I was a huge fan of Grease too,
Mm-hmm.
and I grabbed like 3 girls, and we performed to Cool Rider.
Your primas, your cousins.
Yeah, no, there were girls at the camp,
Okay, gotcha.
and
You and you, come with me. We're gonna do a show.
yeah, and I told my counselor, I said, can you just turn around so that we could, I'm gonna choreograph it, and you just turn around, because I was shy.
Yeah.
And can you believe I did this all for a boy? Because I had a crush on
What
him.
did we not do for a boy? What
Get
did we
it.
not do for a boy?
Yeah, so I
We
did
have
that.
done all kinds of stuff for a
Was
boy.
he impressed after it all happened? Did he even notice it happened?
Yeah,
He
was
did.
there.
Oh, what did he say?
I don't know. I had a crush on him. He didn't.
And you were shy, so that was
Yeah.
like, oh my god! But I want him to see me dance
So-
and
and
move
actually
with my
funny-
girls.
The funny thing too is that even now, if I am if I have a crush on someone or I'm in love with somebody, I'll perform something. It's my way of saying like I love
That's
you.
your love language.
Yeah.
Julio,
You show the love.
I want you to continue the story, but Julio, do me a favor.
What's up?
When you hold your mic,
Uh huh.
you are always touching this part.
Do you want me to do it like this?
Hold on to the black. Just hold on to the black part.
This way. Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
'Cause I can hear the bouncing every time that.
Oh,
you,
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry,
so just
y'all.
hold on to the black part, and because
I will always hold on to the black part.
She is holding on. She is gripping the black part like
But
nothing
the black
in the world.
part is really girthy and
I know.
firm.
I know. You'll get it down, girl. You'll understand
Can I
how to
get
hold,
yeah?
You'll understand how to hold the black part sometime in your life.
No
And when
comment.
you do, you will have a good time.
You will never go back.
You will never go back. But in the meantime, just hold down.
Okay.
Yeah, because your finger is bouncing off of the yeah. And I'm gonna have to work on that later.
My fingers bouncing off the hole or what?
It's bouncing on top of the screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So go ahead and finish your story,
So
honey.
you
I'm
were in
sorry.
middle school.
You were in
did-
middle school.
You did a performance for your crush. Your
No,
crush.
I was in elementary when that.
Okay, elementary.
And then I took theater in middle school.
What was your style around that time? What was your what did you gravitate towards? Like, did you dress the way whatever your parents bought you, or did you no, mom,
No, I had my own
want?
style.
Okay,
I had my own style.
dang. So you had your own identity by that time, because most kids in middle school and elementary into middle school, they're still figuring themselves out. Let alone figuring out what their style is. Usually, they're just wearing whatever mom and dad buys them.
Yeah. No, I had my style.
Nice.
I just spent most of elementary school trying not to get beat up. So
Well, I hated middle school too.
Did you have a bad experience?
Well, it's just
Did you have bullies? Did you
Well, yeah,
just
there
didn't
were
get along with
bullies.
anybody? Or
there were
what?
bullies, but I actually ended up friends with
One of the bullies.
No, like the bad girls, like the girls that smoked and did
They were your-
drugs,
were they
and
your-
They're all my friends.
the bad girls always took care of the gays in school.
Yeah, they did.
They always took care of the gays in school. And I appreciate the bad girls. Because when I was trying to figure out my stuff, they were, and that was mostly in high school.
Yeah.
Middle school and elementary school, I mean, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I was always beaten up by girls.
Really? By girls?
Always beaten up by girls. And I don't understand why I was always beaten up by girls.
Because you was prettier. You was prettier than them.
And
You could sashay like nobody else.
my I think my mother told me, one of my stepmothers, I can't remember, my dad had so many wives. One of my stepmothers said, it's just because the girls think you're cute, and that's why they're so mean to you. And I'm like, well, I wish they would stop.
Okay, it would be nice.
I wish they would stop, because I get beaten up all the time by girls. Not the boys, the girls.
Dang.
I think they were flirting with you.
Really? Because it was always the big girls.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was a skinny dude back in the day. He told me he used to be a twink.
Like 2 grades.
Joel was a twink back in the day. So yeah, the big girls.
They're really old.
So they were like where I was like in 5th grade, and they were supposed to be in 8th grade. And
you got chosen by the big girls.
Oh my god! And they were like, "Do you like me?" And I'm like, "I guess. I don't know. Am I supposed to?
Do you like me?"
And then I get beaten up in the street. Then it's like my dad said, "Don't hit a girl," so I could never hit a girl. So
I would have hit a hoe back. Sorry.
I'm sorry. If you were bigger than me, I will hit you back.
That part. So in middle school, you're becoming yourself, and then what about into high school? What was high school like for you?
High school was fine. It was more so because...
Was it here in Houston, or?
It was in San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm from San Antonio. So I went to a specific school when I was in middle school. Then we moved, and I went to a different high school. So I kind of got started with the new slate.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to deal with the assholes in middle school.
It was a new school. Yeah. You had the new opportunity to revamp.
My cousin was a football player, so
they wouldn't mess with you because he protected you.
Yeah, everyone left me alone.
Was this the time where you felt like you could experiment more when it came to the way you dressed, the way you still had to keep?
No, I couldn't. I didn't feel that way until after high school.
Tell us about that. Once you got out of high school, what happened to you?
Did you go to college?
No.
Because honestly, when most...
It would have been a waste of my time.
Honestly, when most...
I didn't go to college either. I never got
every gay kid that I knew, or transgender kid that I knew, said, "Oh, I couldn't wait to get out of high school so that I could actually
high school sometimes was like a setback for a lot of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, I actually enjoyed high school because the last 2 years of my high school years, I was doing work. Like I was going to school like half of the day, and the rest of the day I got credit for working.
Oh, me too.
It was a work program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. And you kind of showing your age.
And
well, I'm the oldest. Don't worry. I'm still the oldest in this group. I'm still the oldest in this group. So nobody.
That part.
Nobody.
I'm 35.
I'm
Me?
35 too.
Are you really? Where?
Wait a minute.
Where?
Wait a minute.
With how many years of experience, man?
Yeah, go ahead. No.
You said in your bio, "Don't talk about my age."
I didn't. I mean, I'm not saying my age. Anyway, let's go on.
So after high school, that's where we're at now. So you get out of high school, you're in the real world now. Yeah. What's Max doing? Where's Max at? What's the goal in life? What's your...
Max starts wearing makeup.
Yes. How did that go?
When a couple of friends saw me, they were like,
"Oh,
you're really pretty."
Yes.
And then, and then
you were accepted by your friends. Nobody really kind of pushed back on it. What about family? Were they okay with it, or they just first they didn't get it?
They didn't. No,
What's your background? What's your cultural background?
I'm Hispanic.
Oh, Latina, Hispanic, from Central America, from
Mexico.
Central America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
From Central America? No, from Mexico. No. Got it, girl. Got it. Understood the assignment.
Yeah, she's part of the United States.
How did you graduate again?
Hispania.
Were you at work during that time?
Girl.
That's so rude.
This is what happens when
I'm a shady bitch. I'm sorry. I'm a shady bitch at heart. I'm a bartender.
She's a South American.
No, bitch. Yes. I bartend in the neighborhood, and I'm used to like having my comebacks locked and loaded, ready to go. That's
she couldn't wait.
I'm
for
sorry.
That
I didn't mean to.
She could not wait for that. Read.
I was gonna ask if you're Mexican.
No, Venezolano.
I'm kidding. You know how that is.
Okay. No. I'm used to that question. Yeah, are you Mexican?
Yeah.
Sure. It doesn't bother me at this point.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm saying that because. We know how it is.
Yeah, no, for sure. I grew up in Kansas, and so this is way before. This is back in like, very. I'm gonna need, girl. Your house is pretty, but you turn the AC on, mamas. Misha!
Are you, girl?
No, he's just doing it for
the audio
sound
quality and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my fan?
Okay, bitch, for real.
I feel like we all need 3 fabulous fans right now.
So, dude, I might just go ahead and turn that one on just for laughs and giggles. But so you're out of high school, you're started wearing makeup. You're now, because usually when we all get out of high school, that's when we can start truly becoming ourselves, because we're no longer surrounded by the kids our age. We're no longer surrounded by that.
Oh my
mentality.
God! I could not wait. As soon as I was living on my own, I
Me
was
too.
like,
I couldn't
gay,
wait. Yes,
gay.
Screamed it. She screamed it.
I
She
stood on
went
my
through
balcony
mantras
going,
just like.
"Oh, girl, no! I lived in Greenspoint. No, I lived in Gun.
Which ward is that?
That's on the far north side where all the guns are." I was going gay.
So the 5th ward? No.
Outside on my balcony, and all the download men were going,
Hey girl.
"We'll
hey.
remember you.
Okay.
We'll come over to fix something or bring you something."
That part.
You can't tell our girlfriends though.
I
You
got
can't do that. But we'll
Condensation
remember
on
you.
Misha's couch. I don't want him to get pissed. Like, I'm so sorry, girl.
Yeah, we would. I would go.
So around this time when you got out of high school, you started expressing yourself more, and your individuality came through. And were you starting to get into the art culture then?
No.
Did you get into the fashion culture? Where were you at during this point in your life?
I was where I needed to be, but it wasn't anywhere near where everyone else was.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing.
What does that mean?
I wasn't going to like
Like,
I
for
was going
example-
to clubs.
Okay.
But I wasn't going to like raves and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Like, what everyone else was doing.
And you were still in San Antonio during this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would go. I remember like getting dressed up and asking my roommate, let's go riding around. So we'd go driving around.
Okay.
I would flirt with the guys on the street, like in other cars.
While you're in the car in motion, hey, daddy.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
That was my only time that I could actually do anything.
Like this. You want to go play?
Because my boyfriend at the time,
Was jelly.
no.
Come through, boyfriend at the time. Or just casually mention or breathe. You don't have to go into the details or anything.
Well, he didn't know that side of me yet. Or
Okay.
he kind of did.
Yeah.
And in fact,
Wait, what do you mean by that side of you?
being trans.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so that was...
If I may ask, is that around the time you decided, hey, this is my journey and this is where it begins?
I
Or
was figuring it out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha, understood.
But then actually when we talked a few years ago, actually, no, that's not true. I asked him...
Oh, you still keep up with him?
Yeah, we're still
Okay.
friends. I remember asking him, like, if I, were to ever be this, would you still
Be with
love
me?
Would we still be friends?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah.
Wow. That's a good
And
friend.
then,
That's a keeper.
and then several years later, when that happened, he's like, I had a feel, I figured.
You could see the signs
Yeah.
where you start gravitating towards certain things or changing your lifestyle a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was this the beginning of your journey into art, music, everything else?
No.
Or just
Well,
transitioning at that moment.
So I was always a fan of Madonna and just, icons,
Yeah.
dance music, electronic music, club music.
And mind you, let's keep in mind, this is at a time where, like, this is before cell phones. And I was there. Look, I was there, too, at a time before cell phones.
True,
Don't get me wrong. So I'm not being shady.
No, I'm remembering
So at that time, we would care about certain artists a lot more than we know. Because now we can just get on the phone, look up anything, and it's there.
Yeah.
And we take it for granted. But back in that time, like, we
had to look up Donald Glover.
You had to seek out an artist. You had to go to the record store. You had to.
Yeah,
you had to be a real fan to actually give a fuck.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, like you had to seek out the cassettes. Back in the day, it was the cassettes into the CDs.
Oh God, yeah.
She was more of an 8-track kind of girl, but I didn't want to go that far.
Oh no! The 8-track girl is sitting right here. I understand that.
You were an 8-track girl.
I remember 8-tracks, but I was a child when 8-tracks came out. Let me make this quite clear. I was not 25 years old when 8-tracks came out. I was 9.
That part. So, how much longer after like your high school years did you start finally like delving into the art scene or maybe performance?
How many years?
Like after your high school period, and then you were.
So actually, it started when I moved to Houston.
How long was that?
It was yeah.
I think what we really want to get into is the fact, especially musically, when did music become the thing for you?
And by the way, we will in the description we will post the links to the songs, songs. Yeah. Mannequin. Name your songs for us, please?
There was Mannequin and Pleasure Dome.
Yes.
And there's 2 remixes of Pleasure Dome. So actually, when I got involved with music, are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. She got the burpees again.
Okay. Can you see me glistening?
A little bit.
I need some.
We need you to turn this AC on. Misha, text him, call him, be like, girl, we'll pause if you have to.
Do we want to pause?
Let's do a break real quick so we can tell Misha turn on the
Yes.
motherfucking AC.
Okay.
I mean,
okay, don't be
respectfully.
Be nice.
Respectfully.
We're in his house.
I mean that with Misha. If you're watching this, I mean that with love. Mm-hmm. You look cute. Your outfit was cute.
He is going to watch. I'm sure he's going to go on YouTube and watch.
He will.
This
She's going to send him the link. I'll send you the link.
He's going to go. You know what? First of all,
continue this whole. Y'all aren't going to edit it.
Well,
y'all don't.
We know. We do reels like unless it's something really big or bad. Yeah, but
I mean, there was one time Julio said something that was inappropriate, and that was the only time I ever.
And he called me out, and I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Take that out." Yeah. I agreed with it.
But for the most part, this is very open ended. We try to keep it as natural as possible because these are natural conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm a big conversationalist, and I believe in having natural, normal conversation.
Here, I'm going to turn what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the fan on at least.
Yeah. That's why I asked if we could pause.
Mm-hmm. It's just we can pause. Let's pause. Let's take a little bit of a break. I think everybody needs a little bit of a break.
I'm okay.
We're good.
We just
need some air.
Yeah.
Circulation.
Mm-hmm. That's why
it's getting humid hot. I'm back.
Right, so where was I?
Okay, well,
so this was after high school.
Honestly, I think we have empty drinks here.
I don't.
Do you want me to get you some whiskey, girl? Let's go ahead and just take a break because Joel it's on his mind. He just wants let's just do a quick.
Let's take 2 minutes
and we come back, and that's on per.
Like we're just friends.
Okay.
And we're back. And by the way, if you didn't hear this, I told Julio that he looked hot, and you will never hear that again.
Please don't do that again.
I will not do that. But he was standing behind y'all should have seen him though.
Because I was looking cute.
He had his Whitney shirt on.
You know why though? Because I'm that girl. I'm that bitch.
With his Whitney shirt on.
Yeah.
One part hanging out, the other part. And, Julio's been going to the gym. And if Julio, trust me, whatever is going on at the gym, you've been doing it good, girl.
I've been sucking dick.
You've been doing it, good girl. You've been lifting those weights.
I've been putting my mouth to work,
You could use a little work in the back, though. I don't understand why you don't do no work in the back.
Work in the front.
Yeah, I don't need no work. I don't need it.
You could just use work all around.
You just mad, girl, because I just told you.
I just think it's funny that
I literally gave you I gave you a compliment and said that you looked hot and all that. And I needed to bring it down because you were like, "Oh my God, Joel, please don't do that because now you're going to be all over me." I'm not going to be all over you.
Thank you.
You need some work in the back.
I take that as a compliment, not even an insult. I'm like, "Thank you. I appreciate that."
He's like,
do some squats. Okay, just do some squats.
That's about regimens now?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Because
I have a few suggestions.
Because all the can you give me some? Because I'm actually about to start working out again.
Where?
Everywhere. Because I need it. I can't get rid of.
I'm glad that we're having this conversation now, and that we're at a space where we're comfortable to talk about it.
Out of this conversation.
I cannot get rid of those last 3 pounds. So if I can't get rid of it, then I'm going to have to put it in some place.
You're looking good too, Joe. By the way, I'll give you compliments back. You look awesome.
Thank you. Today. I really tried. I've been trying.
I can tell
hard.
You tried. Yeah.
I've tried real hard to get off the couch.
It shows.
To go for a walk.
Yes.
To eat less salty foods, and to leave the donuts alone.
Period.
I love donuts.
And that's on period.
Mm-hmm.
That's on God.
That's on God. So now we're back into the second half of the show, and we are here with Max.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Max.
I'm just kidding.
But Max, we're gonna get in depth because it's my turn to ask the questions.
Okay.
It's my turn to ask that. Dun dun dun. Can you find the music for that, by the way?
No. Yeah, we can. I'm sure we could. We should load it up as one of the sounds just for the hell of it.
We should.
I'll find it for us.
Okay, but Max, we're really gonna get into it now.
Yeah.
So let's start talking about now. Here we are, present day. We've talked about the past. We've talked about everything that you've had to endure to get to where you are.
Yes.
Let's talk about where we are right now.
The future.
Mm-hmm.
The future. You have been an artist. You have been a musician.
Well, the
You
musician
have been.
part, I work with producers.
You working with producers.
It still counts, girl.
It still counts.
Okay.
One of the funniest thing I heard. I don't know if you're. Max. I don't know if you're into RuPaul's Drag Race. Are you into RuPaul's Drag Race?
I've never seen it.
I'm not either. I like drag. I'm not against it. I just don't have the time to watch the show.
Okay. For me, I'm into it.
She's obsessed.
I'm not obsessed.
Okay, girl.
Yes, I'm obsessed.
I'm obsessed. You watch everything that RuPaul's
yes,
on the
I
air.
watch everything that goes on with it. And I think one of the biggest statements was the fact that, you know what, season 14 has now dropped. 17 queens have dropped singles or music on iTunes.
They really have.
Good for that.
So the
Trixie
fact that
Mattel just came out with a song with that gay country artist. I forget his name. Herbal something.
she actually has a documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
That talks about her career in country music and everything else. So watch that; it's cute. But the fact of the matter is that you have been all over the place when it comes to art, music, and everything else. Mm-hmm. What inspired you to just throw yourself into it?
Well, I've always wanted to do it, like ever since I was a kid. I mean, I'm sure there's many people that have, just performed in the mirror, and
I have.
just pretend that you're
that girl.
bigger than life, And so it's always been there. And acting, I always used to want to be, an actress, and so that's always been there. It hasn't gone away. Mm-hmm. But it was just putting my foot forward and doing it.
Was it the idea of you coming to grips with your true self?
Had nothing to do with it. Actually,
That's your phone, Joe.
oh yeah, that's right.
No, we're
But
no.
turn off the vibrate at least.
Actually doing my art, and I had a makeup artist that would do my makeup like amazing. That really was the starting point where I felt comfortable. Mm-hmm. That's who I was. That's who I am. Mm-hmm. So
Because we're sitting in a house of amazing artwork, some of it which is produced by you, by the way, mm-hmm. that you put together. Where you had to have figured out how to.
Well,
where the creative spirit of you came from.
I had it. It was always there. I always had it. It was just a matter of doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be. I looked up. I had idols. I had people that I looked up to, and I want to be that. I want to be that, but I want to be me.
Your inspirations, what you drew from, and then interpret it in your own way.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, what was your first, I think what I really want to hear is the first time that you decided to do the one thing that started you off. What was the first thing that you did that was the art that would set you on the path to who you are right now?
What started all of this? Do you remember that moment? That tease, that piece, that time?
That piece, that musical time, that thing.
Well, from being a kid, like I said, going back to performing in my room. That's stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's where it started from. But again, as far as like actually doing something, wasn't until I was an adult.
Mm-hmm. But as an adult, when once you realized, maybe once you started to see a little something?
Going back to when I was taking Kabbalah, those classes, when my teacher said that an idea stays at a potential level if it's only an idea, it's actually manifesting and doing it is when you produce it. So, and then I started showing him my my art that I started doing, and then he's like, "You're one of the few students that are getting what I'm talking about." And that's where actually I actually started doing something.
And your look, everything that you started to, when you looked in the mirror and realized that I am now going to formulate a look. I'm now going to formulate who I am from this day forward. That was, as an adult.
Yeah.
That was a slow progression. That's where Tony came in. That's where Kyla came in. You know, Tony did the fashion at the time. Then Kyla, you know, it's so amazing that once you have an idea and then you start doing something, how everybody, and it's not like you're introducing yourself like I'm doing this. It's just, it's like a...
Would you say it's like when your vision finally comes to life?
Then people start coming around.
The supporting characters are there and they say, yes, what you're doing is validated.
It's like your vibe.
Yes.
You start giving off a vibe.
Correct.
And they don't know what you're doing yet. They just come into your life, your experience, and you start talking to them and, oh, I'm a makeup artist. Oh, I'm a fashion designer. Oh, I do this. Oh, I have a camera. Oh,
And I've learned that when you get those kind of friends, that each friend has their own unique strength. And if you're smart enough, you learned how to use those strengths with them. Not
exactly.
Use it to where it benefits everybody. Not just you, but it benefits them as well.
Right.
And you can come together and create awesome things. Yeah. Whether it's a costume or whether it's a video, whether it's a song. That's where you use those strengths and those friends.
Yeah, and so like all these things started happening, and then one of my friends was, oh, you're doing this. Oh, just in conversation, I'm writing something. I would like to have a song.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my friend produces music. Let me introduce you to him.
Then
it was just like a chain of events that happened.
Because that's kind of how it happens to me now. Even when like in the Montrose scene, the bar scene, like I know most of the entertainers, I know most of the bartenders, and I know who has their strength, and I know who's creative at what. Yeah. So when it comes down to a project, I need somebody who can do this. Oh, I know the right person. Hey, XYZ, do you want to do this project? Are you interested? And you go from there.
Yeah, that's how.
I think everybody has a defining moment,
of course,
and I think what I'm asking is that defining moment when you looked in the mirror, you looked at Max in the mirror, and you said, I'm going to start with one thing. Do you think you remember what that one thing was that started you, that when you looked in the mirror, that started you on the path of saying, I think I know where I want to go?
This is for me.
This is now for me. I think I know where.
And you know what? And if not, Max, it's okay. Because it could be, maybe you just went through life and you just, and at different points in your life, you found certain projects, certain things that, in this moment, it made sense to me.
But I think as a person, I really want to know what was the first moment that you looked in the mirror and said, I'm going to make this one change and see what happens.
When did you take that leap?
When do you think you took that leap as an adult? And I'm talking about as an adult, and I'm not talking about as a child or a teenager. I'm talking about as an adult on your own when you decided to make that leap.
And if there's no moment, that's okay.
Honestly, I don't know if it's specifically this is where I am, this is what I'm going to do. It was just an evolution of
there you go.
All these things happening, and then it was very fluid, more so.
That's your answer, Joel. There wasn't a specific moment for her. It just happened. It came about, and to fruition.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most amazing thing, because I think when it comes to an artist, I think it's more about that first time that maybe you picked up a...
But for some it is, not for all. Because every artist is different. Everybody creates differently, whether you're a podcaster, a painter, and a sculptor. everybody has their moment. And for example, like what I'm understanding from Max is saying, you can tell there's no defining moment that was like, this is it. This is the green light for me to go in this direction. No, it was just like Max just said in her own words.
Yeah.
It was fluidity. It was my moment in life in that time, the characters that I had around me that came together and this situation happened. Mm-hmm. So I think for you, is it more energy based? Is it more?
Yeah,
I get a sense of that.
I think that's what I was trying to get at. Was it more of an energy based thing,
or are you more of a planned artist? Or you plan, you organize? Hey, when we done the 13th,
everything just happen in a certain way where it just all came together
organically.
Where you just woke up one morning and decided to do this.
Yeah, that or she was at the right house party, talked to the right person, say, hey, we should do something, and then you know what? Fuck it, let's do it.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the questions that I ask, it's more on a psychological level, and it's more on the idea of, like I said, when I say when you wake up, what I mean by that is that, like I said, we all take a look in the mirror every morning when we wake up, and we decide who we're gonna be that day and how we're gonna be that day.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to an evolution of what our personality is going to be, who we're going to be as people, how we're going to structure everything that we do. I think we take a look in the mirror every morning and go, I'm going to do this today. Yeah. And I'm going to see how this is going to work out.
But I'm not getting a sense from you, Max, that you're more like feel it as you go kind of.
With in terms of my art, yes.
Okay.
I guess, is that what, are you asking about my art? Or, okay.
Yes, your art.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, I mean.
I know it's a compliment.
By the way, there is no wrong answer.
There's no wrong answer. Just say how
what you feel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound like a professor in a college course.
No.
I just wanted to
turn in your assignment by the end of the week.
When I sit around creative people and I try to figure out, where did the process begin? Where was that one moment that you realized?
But there wasn't, though. That's what she was just
I'm
telling
going to
you.
do this.
Yeah. It was.
If I'm going to say when was that one moment, I'm going to go back to when I was taking those classes.
Yeah.
Having an idea, which was there, and making the connection of an idea and manifesting it.
Yeah.
That was. I would say that was that time.
And how many projects have you come about since then, and organically created with your friends? Is that usually your style? You'll meet people and just kind of say, "Hey, we should collaborate. We should do something."
Because you can't do everything by yourself.
Correct.
Of course,
agreed.
It's co-creating. You're going to create with.
Although, contrary to that, there are some artists that work better independently, and then there are some artists that work well with others that prefer the contribution aspect.
That's true, but I mean,
and I get the sense that you're more of a collaborative person. Yeah. Because I am that way, too. Sometimes I can do shit on my own, and there's times where I can be like, you know what? I want people mixed in because I like the input. I like
because I'm just going to say it, like, I can't do it. Well, yeah, I like other people's
take, other people's point of view, other people's ideas.
Yeah.
What they bring to the table, essentially, versus what you bring to the table.
Yeah, because they could probably do something that they might be a bit better, or they might have
their
more
strengths.
experience.
Their strengths.
Yeah, their strengths. Like somebody who's a producer, music producer.
Correct.
Like I don't.
You have the voice, but then they have the equipment. They have the things that they can help you turn that voice into something.
So like I'll hear something in my head.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them. And sometimes I wish that I would be like, I want to make this sound.
What's your writing process like? Do you write? Do you kind of just freestyle it? Do you?
No, I write. I have to write. I don't really freestyle. I know there's people that do it that are really good at it.
Yes, that takes practice too.
Yeah, but I'm not like that.
Whereas I do everything on the cuff. I can do stuff on the cuff. Every time I try to write something down, it never comes out the way that I want it, and I realize that collaboration is what I need. I think that works for me. This is when I ask you these questions. These are I feel like now that I'm kind of an artist in a certain way because I have ideas on how to do stuff. I just don't know how to execute them.
And that's where I come in. And
that's what I'm saying.
And that's where I come in.
Yeah.
And I say that in a good way because, like, me and Joe have discussed this. Like, for example, early on when we started doing the show, especially season 3, when I came along, he was like, no, I'm very like in the moment. What is it? And I said, no, Joel, let's dial it back. We have to a certain degree, as much as we want to be free about it, we also have to organize ourselves. We have to create a certain dialogue for the show, this and that. And no, I think it. And then so along the way, he started seeing that my formula kind of worked, and I started to see that some of his formula worked as well. Yeah. So we bounced ideas off each other. We worked. We kind of saw what worked and what didn't, and along the way, we corrected it every single time.
Yeah, and that's the same thing.
And if anything, we've gotten better. We have. I've seen his growth. He's seen my growth. Because
I feel I don't want us to pat each other in the back. We could do that on a separate show, but because this is still about you.
Agreed.
But the fact of the matter is that I don't mean to be demanding when I ask these questions or anything else. I love the art community.
Yes.
And I try to learn from everyone in the community.
You like picking their brains.
And I love picking your brain. I really do, because I see you out here. Now, by the way, you're also still working a regular job, trying to take care of the bills and doing all this other stuff.
Like most of us creators.
And you're still struggling like the rest of us.
Oh, my God, Joel.
Well, I mean...
Why would you say that?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that you're struggling, but... I'm sorry if I did say you were struggling.
You did.
I did say you were struggling.
You're that girl.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
You're at the food bank. I get it, girl. You're struggling.
I'm putting some of my own issues into it.
Do you need some money for your EBT?
It's a struggle to get
when you take the bus back home.
Well,
everything else.
Let me.
So yes.
Let me add a little something.
Okay,
go for it.
Please do.
If you're going to say you're struggling, you're struggling.
I'm struggling.
No. Why would you want to put that energy out there?
No, because...
I get what she's saying, though.
Don't say you're struggling. Well,
I love the fact that you asked me that question.
Yeah, because what you put out, you get back.
Yeah. This is why I love the fact that you're asking me that question. Because sometimes I did not realize how hard that this could be sometimes.
Yes.
And I did not realize the work and effort that goes into it.
Yes.
But every time I sit down to do an episode, I'm the happiest person on the planet.
That's good.
And I understand that all the stuff that I go through beforehand.
I can testify that's true.
All the stuff that happens beforehand, all the stress, all the worry, all the how am I going to do this?
Conversations.
Conversations, all this other stuff. When I have a successful show, it makes me the happiest on the planet.
And we've learned that not every show's perfect, because sometimes we've...
Yeah. And even if you don't have... Actually, if you say that... Or if you have a show that's maybe not as... But that's still... That's good, too, because now you know what you want.
Yeah, exactly. And even when the shows are... And by the way, even when the shows aren't that successful...
By the way...
Even when I listen to it and I'm like, oh my God,
Max,
is terrible.
Is it fair to say you don't like talking about yourself, do you?
No, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why?
No, well, I was asking because I get the sense that you... Because for example, in our conversations here, we'll ask you a question, you kind of like hold back a little. You're like,
the reason,
and I'm like, ooh, she doesn't like talking about herself, which is not a bad thing. I'm not attacking you or saying. I'm just like, because not everybody's comfortable doing that.
What I do, I pause with my words.
Oh, okay.
Because I think very fast.
Yes.
And if I speak too fast, I don't say the right things that I want to say.
Okay. That makes sense.
So that's in any of my interviews or whatever, I pause.
Okay. You want to think your answer through before you say it as you're saying it. You want to be concise. You want to be clear. You don't want to listen to yourself back and be like, why did I say that?
Yeah, well, I've done that too. Or
okay.
And by the way, Julio and I both have that in common. We just say what we say.
We literally do.
By the way, I'm verbal diarrhea.
I'm a naturally unfiltered, honest person by nature. Like, I'm naturally that guy. Like, and everybody, like, in my friends, my family, they know that. They know that when you're around me, and I'm not mean or vicious about it. Just if you ask me a question, I'll give you the honest answer. And I'm not. Hey, does this look good on me? No. Yeah. Hey, do you think it? No. You know, little questions like that. So that's where I come from. That's my background.
And I think as a show where we have to interview people sometimes we have to like, okay, let them talk.
Like now.
Let them talk because...
Just kidding.
Like now. See, I like that. Go for it.
Yes, because sometimes we are so open with how we talk.
Yeah.
And we forget that sometimes people need a pause, a minute, or in some cases, they talk about stuff that they can't talk about.
Max, switching conversations, what do you have coming up next? Do you have any upcoming projects? Are you working on things right now?
Yeah, I have, there's actually quite a few songs that I want to produce.
By the way, have you got to that point where you're producing your own music?
No.
You're creating your own, you'd rather work with other people?
Yeah.
Which is fine. This is perfect. Yeah, that's how music is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I like their input.
Okay.
I think people are like genius when they can come up with like fucking awesome ideas. And,
Hell yeah.
And that's the people that I work with.
There's
are
nothing
like that.
more than I love, especially being in the music studio environment. So like when I call it the flow, where like the inspiration hits both you and the other person, and you're just shelling it out, and you're writing things down, and let's put this here, let's put that there, let's do this, and then when you hear the final result, it's like
Yeah, I mean that happens a lot.
Yes.
I love writing stuff, writing the lyrics, and recording. That sometimes is a process, but
it is.
I love, giving the vocals to a producer and then hearing what they came up with and how it sounds to them.
How they
and
edit it, what effects they put on it.
And when I smile and I'm like...
How they layered
and when I fucking
it.
dance to it, I'm like, that means that, this is it.
Isn't it the best feeling in the world when you actually hear your own music? Because and part of my creative side, at times I have delved into like creating my own shit or making my own music, and then when you hear your own stuff back, it's like it means so much more to you, and the happiness it gives you because you made that, you created that, and you understand it 100% what each lyric means. Like,
totally,
it's a whole different experience. It's a whole different.
It is, and I remember the first time that happened when with my first song, Violet Velvet. I had it in, like, I was like, I want to produce, I want this song. It actually went with a character, one of my self-portraits, or one, that I had worked on, and I took it to, actually, one of my friends, whom I didn't know was a producer, told me that he produced music, Mike Xandaux, and so I told him, and he's like, well, I can start working on this. For whatever reason, I forgot what happened, but he wasn't able to finish it, and so he handed off to a producer who has his own label, and I met with him, and unfortunately he passed away last year.
Rest in peace.
I had, no, he passed away this year. I had a conversation with him, and he was like trying to understand what it was that I was trying to do, and I said, I'm an artist, self-portrait artist. I'm trying to give these characters a voice. Even though the lyrics are simple. Yes. If you go to, a club or, rave or whatever, you've heard music that's very minimalistic, where their vocals are very minimalistic.
That, or the lyrics are very simple, but yet the effect.
And it's about creating, energy and stuff, and dancing, and
so it's fair to say that music is your passion right now.
That's where it is, like...
That's your drive.
Yeah. And I do want to mention this because it's very... so Violet Velvet, when that came out, again, there's very minimal lyrics. And I wanted to perform them. So I had gone out to a club, South Beach, actually, and when it was open. And I met Tania Peterson and actually, this is so embarrassing.
In person?
We had swapped numbers, and I kind of forgot that I met her.
Oh, shit.
And
what
so
were
she
you
sent
on?
We were partying. Whatever.
What were you on?
We just had a good time. And she texted me, and she jogged my memory. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, okay, oh yeah, I remember. And so I went to go see one of her shows because she's a singer also.
Okay, nice.
And I saw one of her shows, and she had told me that she's a choreographer.
I'm assuming she's a local artist. I don't know who.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she lives in Atlanta now.
Okay.
So I told her that I have music, and she's like, well, I choreograph.
Nice.
And I have all these dancers at Sam Houston.
Okay.
That I can bring in to do the show. And so, because I needed a lot of movement because the vocals are so minimal. And then at that point, I thought, well, shit, I probably should write like a song. And so I did, and I told her, I need to learn how to dance. I know how to dance. I just need to
choreograph. Yeah,
I need my show choreographed so that I am moving during the parts where there's music.
In a way, to distract from the minimalism of the song.
Right.
That way, it has something else people can look at besides just standing there and looking at you.
Yeah. And my dancers.
Yes.
So we did that, and
how'd that show come out?
It was really good.
Where did you perform it at?
I performed at. It was like a whole weekend where we did like different performances. We did. It was a Houston Fringe Festival. Avant-Garde, Mangoes, which is closed now, and South Beach.
Is this something we're gonna maybe have visual pictures of that maybe you can send us, or
I don't know. I mean, it was a while back. I can check
if you have any like stuff that we can show people while we're talking about it.
Yeah,
because I can put it up. If not, that's fine. Or if you have pictures of moments, send me that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll check.
And I'll put it up for people to see as we're telling the story, as you're telling the story, better said.
And so after that, we went to, we started performing at Numbers.
Nice.
And we had a monthly event.
Nice. What was the event called?
Vision, actually.
Oh my God.
That's so dope. Full circle. I love this.
Yeah, so that was fun. And I threw myself into...
I love that Number stage, by the way. That stage is beautiful.
It is. Number stage is beautiful. If you're ever in Houston, Texas,
you have to go to Numbers.
You have to go to Numbers.
You
have to go to Numbers.
Numbers is iconic. They almost closed down because of the pandemic. Almost.
My friend did a documentary about Numbers.
Did it really?
Yes, they did, and I watched it.
I did too.
Were
you there?
Send me that link, please.
Were you there?
No, I was. No, I was able to watch the. I didn't.
Are you friends with Marcus?
No, I actually someone sent it to me not too long ago.
Oh.
And
wait, is that out on the internet? That documentary?
I don't think
so.
No,
I don't think so.
What?
No.
How and why not? Oh, I want to see that documentary.
It's good.
That needs to be out and about. If you're listening, whoever created that, was it Marcus that created that?
Because of the show,
Marcus created that documentary.
Some people are able to send me stuff. I watched that documentary. It's amazing.
Marcus, if you're watching, please post it. Please make it available.
I'm glad to have been a part of Numbers because our posters in the back.
Still to this day. That's badass, dude. Numbers is everything.
So we had a monthly show there, and I threw myself into basically like a dancer.
Yeah.
Learning how like steps, and what I learned is that I don't.
You got more technical with it.
Yeah, I do better when it's like bum 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 instead of 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3.
The count.
No, I can't do that.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Were you surprised that you were such a good dancer, or
no?
Because
I knew how to dance already.
But when you're working with a choreographer, and I have worked with a choreographer for a little bit, and I was shocked at the fact that I could do certain things that I did not think that I could do.
Yeah, and Tania would like totally cheer me on. She's like, yeah, and there were some moves that I'm like, I can't get it, I can't. And she's like, no, you can, just do it. And some cases, we would have to adjust something. But I remember there was this one time that we did like choreography in chairs, dancing in chairs. That's not easy.
That is not easy.
Not at all.
Because you have to use your core to like,
yes,
and like lift and stuff. And I remember I was struggling with one part so much that I literally started crying right before I went on. Like we were on stage and the curtains were closed, and I started crying. I was like, and sure enough, I missed the step that I was gonna do, but I played it off, and everyone was like,
yes.
That was it. I ended up just kicking my leg up, and then I
did a different move.
Yeah. And then I learned. I learned how to.
Impromptu, just kind of came up with something else. Yeah. Yes, those are instincts, by the way. When you're able to do that, and you forget, or you just fuck it, I'm gonna do something else.
Yeah,
and it still comes through. Those are your instincts kicking in. That's your showmanship. That's
So that was that was, and I felt very proud of that afterwards.
Well, you know what? You are one of the most well-rounded artists I've ever met. I mean, you're not only are you doing music, you're doing dance. You know, I keep looking at this portrait that is sitting here in this incredible house full of art, and I need to know where the inspiration for that came from, because you know what? By the way,
I do have a story about that.
Julio will have a picture of it.
How about this? Do you guys want to walk around and you point to each one of your art pieces and talk about it? Will you feel comfortable with that?
In a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. But as far as that piece,
let's talk about it in general. Where did the idea of doing?
So describe the piece and how that came about.
So it's Marie Antoinette inspired.
Okay.
Tony actually came up with. What he would do very often is he is so creative, sketching out several pieces. Brought me all these clothes, all these outfits, and I was like,
nice.
He's like, these are for you. I had to pay him, but I was like,
he sewed them. He made them himself.
Yeah,
Wow.
He went and saw Marie Antoinette in the theater.
Okay.
And later that night, he went and sketched it and made that for me. And he made 2 versions. So that was Marie Antoinette inspired. So I had spray painted my hair white, and the neck piece around the
like the choker.
the ribbon, yeah. In bad taste, he's like, that's her blood, like when she got decapitated.
Oh my!
So,
is this something you could find on your Instagram page, or?
Yeah.
But it's an incredible piece of art.
So thank you very much. There's a little bit more to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So several years later, I wanted to use this look, the outfit, for, like I said, I like to give a voice to my characters.
Yes.
So Kyla we had gone to a party, and Kyla had done this look on my face, makeup, and it was a bow with kind of like a corset on my face. So, like, if I untied it, like, as if my face would unravel.
An actual corset on your face?
Well, it was a bow.
Or just drew it in?
Yeah, it was a bow and, like, the...
Yes.
So,
whoa.
I thought, okay, I want to use that look and mix it with this to create a song called Bow, B-E-A-U-X, like a bow, like a...
Yes.
This is, and I say, I'll be your bow. And that is actually a song really about... gender swapping, like. So if you see the video,
gender swapping, what is that? I don't know what that is.
Being androgynous.
Okay,
so, like,
got it.
The lyrics are, "Untie me, get the surprise." Well, if you take off my clothes,
yes.
Okay, and I'm very feminine, or female looking, whatever, and so we have like this Marie Antoinette big tall hair
wig. Oh, so you actually changed the hair for the second time you brought the look. Did you use the wig? Oh, okay, got it.
And we used this outfit for one of the scenes, and I had Tony make another version of that, but in vinyl, black vinyl.
Oh.
So the video is hot.
Yes.
And I actually had...
I want to see that.
I had...
I'm visualizing it.
And this is kind of like an example of me. I fell in love with this guy at the time. And so I asked him if he was be in my video. That was the only way that I was going to have him.
Oh, my goodness.
Is the video available, by the way?
It's on YouTube.
What's it called?
Bow.
Yes. It's on your page?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah. You just have to look it up. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to look it up.
Yeah.
And we'll put it on here and display it. Yes.
So that was... And my mom actually called me. No, she texted me.
Are you still talking to that guy, by the way?
No, we're just...
we're no longer bays.
No, we're fine.
We're just booze.
My mom texted me. She's like, I saw your new video. And I was like...
Oh!
She's like, it was very nice. It made me feel a little uncomfortable. I said, well, it wasn't for you to watch.
Okay. You're one of the intended audience, mother.
Sorry, Mom.
Yes, but what did she really think of the video, though? After
she liked it.
She liked it, but
it's very sexual.
She
felt uncomfortable seeing her child
in a sexual
position. Who is actually comfortable with seeing their...
Madonna.
Okay. Honestly,
No, I'm serious. I'm sure there's parents out there that are very open-minded.
Yeah, and it's like when you see your parents have sex, or
I don't want
to hear about them in a sexual way. You're like, that's my mom and dad. I don't want that. Thank you.
I grew up seeing my parents naked, so it never bothered me. My parents were naked all the time.
Well, see, and that's what I'm. Yeah, like if you're used to that, it's not an issue.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
But I wasn't naked in this.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, it was just.
How long ago was that?
2012, I think.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, we premiered it at Numbers at our performance. Mm-hmm. So I had it playing while I was performing.
That's badass. Dang.
Yeah. And I sometimes will print. There's this one song that I did for Empty Flowers. It was geisha looking. It was my art.
Yeah.
I had printed it on, I think, like 10 feet. It was probably like as big as that black.
Okay.
And
the black what?
The black painting on the wall.
Because all you said is that picture,
sorry,
that black, and I'm like,
that black painting.
Girl, please, we live in this society. Sure, you
don't be too sensitive.
Respect your pictures of color.
Respect your pictures of color.
Mm-hmm. So, do you still perform numbers nowadays, or is that a thing that
I will? Because I saw them like 2 years ago, and she asked when I was going to be. One of the people asked when I was going to be back.
Yeah.
So I will.
What is it? So, how does that work? What does it take to get booked or get permission to perform at Numbers? How do you go about getting that?
Oh, I talk to my contacts.
Yes.
Like, I'm ready to perform, and I go, well,
so I'm assuming you know the management, you know the general manager. Yeah. Do they have like a creative person, like the director of something, like stage director?
It's kind of like, well, let's see
booking person.
What show that you can put you in.
Usually, when you approach them, do you have to show them what you're doing, or do you have to, or you could just say, "Hey, I'm going to go on your stage and I'm going to do this," and you just got to believe it?
No, if you mean if I'm going to a new place?
Numbers.
No, I've already performed there.
Correct. But I'm asking
Before?
if you've never have, what does it take?
Oh.
What is the process to perform at Numbers? Who do you speak with? Do you speak to?
You probably have to talk to manager.
Yeah.
I mean, you would. We got involved in that from. We did a show at Etro. It was for Jen Martini's birthday, and she asked for certain performers to come be a part of her show or whatever, her party. And so I performed, and so did other people, and it got a great response from the audience and from the management. So they asked us to.
They invited y'all come perform there.
We're gonna have a monthly event at Vision called Vision.
At Numbers.
At Numbers, would you like to be a part of it? And so we
did.
Of
course, that's like yes.
Yeah.
So, what are you looking forward to for your career in the future? What are you looking forward to being able to do as far as your art is concerned? As far as maybe doing stage work, as far as the things that you want to do as an artist, what are you looking forward to doing?
More creativity, more shows, more videos, more movies, short movies that we do.
Do you have anything coming up soon that people can go see you at?
I have a show that I'm trying to get booked.
Yes.
It hasn't been finalized yet.
I'm assuming you'll post on social media. Hey guys, this is what I'm going to go next.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd like to financially sustain myself off of my art.
Trust me, we can relate.
I think everybody.
So, do you think your next show is going to be about your artwork? Is it going to be performance art? Is it going to be music? Is it going to be what do you think in your next major project is?
Maybe a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
So right now, what I would be performing would be Pleasure Dome and Mannequin, and then maybe some of my older tracks. Mm-hmm. I have some ideas for the looks. Mm-hmm. I'm always inspired by Star Wars. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do some Star Wars Visions related stuff.
That's
so dope. So just so you can let the listeners know, where can they find your social media at? What is your at?
Xandaux.
On?
Instagram. Facebook, I'm not too much of a fan of, but I'm on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Just mostly Instagram.
What about your OnlyFans?
Don't have that.
Damn it. That was a reach.
TikTok?
You know? I have TikTok. I'm still kind of figuring that out.
Me too. I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
I've gotten more views on my TikTok.
Yes.
Than I have others, but it's...
Keep it going.
It's just weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep it going. And
that's one way to promote your next show. You get a huge turnout. Come about.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
So
doing a 3-minute video on TikTok to promote whatever's going to happen next. I think it's going to be...
It's been a good show so far, I think.
Yeah,
what do you think, Joel?
I think it's been a fantastic show.
Hell yeah.
And I think we found out a lot. But look, can I...
What's up?
I need this one little thing before we end this. Well, I mean, we're going to do a little bit of a tour.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do next.
We're going to do a little bit of a tour, but I need to get into this because Max and I talked about this because we are huge nerds.
Ooh,
we are huge
Tell it,
nerds.
girl.
She's Star Wars, and I ran down a list of all the things that I love, from gaming to superhero movies to sci-fi to all the stuff. And you know, the fact that you've been able to do podcasts in the nerd realm, and like I said, can you make sure you put the links for those podcasts, because people need to listen to those podcasts.
I will.
Because I want to listen to it, especially the Star Wars podcast. Hopefully, y'all can listen to our podcast as well. We can do like a little exchange.
I would hope.
I would hope we could do some kind of exchange where we could do that. But you know, now you guys, before you made fun of me about the Disney Channel and my lack of funds and able to do it, so tell me what's going on in your nerd world. What's the thing that you want to recommend? What are you watching? What's the thing that you want to tell people they need to read, watch, listen to?
Really, the latest Star Wars. If you haven't seen Mandalorian, you're missing out.
You're missing out. Y'all need to see Mandalorian.
Get with the program. Everyone knows who Baby Yoda is.
I know everybody is all about that Gina Carino thing with all her stuff on Twitter and whatever. I don't really care. The rest of the story is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really good.
It's a really good show.
So there's that. Star Wars Visions. I'm a huge. Like I didn't think I was going to be as excited about it. But when I started seeing like the trailer, I was like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. Can
you and I have one little moment where we just talk about the fact that I'm always worried when Disney puts out anything from either Star Wars or Marvel. I'm always like, oh my god, is this going to be like so terrible?
No, I'm not.
I'm always worried because, you know, when you think about, I'm sorry, not 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12.
You mean the sequel trilogy?
Yes, when you think about the sequel trilogies and you think about the fact that some people love them, and I love them, by the way. Not the prequels. The prequels were terrible. But when you think about the 8, 9, 10, is it 8, 9, 10?
Yeah, 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. Is it 7, 8, 9?
7, 8, 9.
Okay, 7, 8, 9. I thought they were fantastic movies. And I realized that old school Star Wars fans might have had issues with stormtroopers, which I thought was a ridiculous argument to have.
Having a black stormtrooper?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Or having Asian cast members.
That's ridiculous.
Or having this and that going on. You know, I always thought it was the most... it's like, wait a minute. They're in another universe.
They're in the universe, another universe, and they're in the future.
Do you think
they got over the raise equality thing?
How is it that their universe doesn't care about shit, but we do?
Honestly, people are fucking stupid.
You people
bitching about that stuff.
It was even the same thing during Star Trek, and I'm like,
I love Star Trek.
You know what? I don't mean no harm.
Check your heart.
I don't mean no harm to the Star Wars person sitting in the room, but I'm really a Trekkie.
That's fine.
I love both.
I respect it.
I love both.
You are you and I am me. I get it.
I love both. And by the way, I do love...
We are not the same.
I love Discovery. I love Picard. And I love the animated one. Oh my God, the animated one is hilarious.
Is it?
It is hilarious. On Paramount.
I haven't seen it.
By the way, for those of you in the room, I can afford Paramount too. It's only
barely.
It's barely $9 a month.
Barely. She's at the scratch top of her budget.
There's nothing on but RuPaul and Star Trek, and I'd rather watch the Star Trek. By the way, as much as I love RuPaul, I'd still rather watch the Star Trek stuff. Yeah. So, yes. So, Discovery.
And that's on period.
Yes. The one where the Lower Decks. Oh, my God. You need to watch Lower Decks. If you want to watch something fun, it is the funniest.
That's the Star Trek one, right?
That's the Star Trek, and it's animated.
I saw a trailer for that. I wasn't sure.
Yes. I didn't think I would be into it, and then I watched 2 episodes, and I went, I love this show.
Is it?
Aww.
It is amazing. It is hilarious. And for anyone who's out there watching it, from my nerd point of view, you need to watch it, because it is hilarious. And I think we need to start taking a tour around the house.
Yeah, we do.
You and I can sit here and talk about nerd culture all night.
Okay. So do we sign off on the podcast and then continue it on the video?
I think we should sign off on the podcast
and then continue the video conversation.
And then continue the video conversation.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then we're gonna now, for those of you listening to the podcast, you can watch us on YouTube.
Yes,
to see like extra footage and all this other stuff.
Right.
By the way, we're not making you pay for it right now, but we will eventually.
It's free 99.
It's free. It's free 99 right now. Later on, it's gonna be something.
Period.
But that's once we get where we need to get to. But for right now, we're just thank you.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for being on the show.
Us here at Mishu's house.
At Michelle's house.
Sorry, Michelle's house. And he has an amazing house.
He has an amazing art collection.
Thank you for letting us have a conversation with you and letting us into your world a little bit. We appreciate that, honestly. I learned a lot.
I did too.
I did. So I'm appreciative of that.
And like I said, the more that I sit in this house, the
and when
more
you do
that
your
I
next
realize.
show, please let me know. We would love to show up to that.
Yes,
we really would. No bullshit. Real conversation.
Send us tickets. Send us whatever.
Damn.
We're gonna be in the front row.
No, we're gonna pay for the tickets. We're gonna support a local artist.
Thank you.
That part.
Send us free tickets.
Remember,
I said that part.
We'll do the free advertising. It's fine. Somebody's gonna get paid somewhere.
I'll buy the tickets if that's what you're trying to get to.
Okay, I could buy the tickets too. But if I had to do the advertising,
one more time for the people at home, where can they reach you? Is on Instagram mainly. That's your preferred social media, and that's at
Xandaux. And the spelling will be on your.
Yes, I'll put the correct spelling and the correct links to it. Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show. Oh, by the way, in the video, and we will probably do this in the video, make sure you mention you also do housewares. You do a couple other things, some arts and crafts stuff that you do.
Yeah, some of my art is on Spoonflower, and that can be.
What's your link to that? We'll post it.
Yeah, it's on Spoonflower at Xandaux, I think.
There you go. Okay.
Just send all the information with some pictures of some of the things that you do, so that we can.
So if you want to support our local artists, if you want to support an artist, an entrepreneur, we'll post all the links where you can follow, where you can purchase, and anything to support her and her art. And then hopefully in the future we're going to be at a show and we'll show you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
That show. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
And maybe
we love and we will support you.
Maybe I'll lay under a bedspread that you made.
Period.
Maybe Michelle and I will look at some of your artwork together.
Okay.
Maybe Michelle and I will be under the bedspread together.
Hello.
Maybe you'll make a toy for me and Michelle to use.
Watch Michelle block her from all social media.
Watch Michelle, put a restraining order on me.
Poor thing. Michelle, save yourself.
I'm sitting in a house with a Belgian man with a fantastic French accent. I can't help myself.
She has a weakness for accents.
I have a weakness, and I have been around the world when it comes to men, and French men are my favorite.
Hello.
Frenchmen. The English are very reasonable, but my French men are my favorite.
All right, so we're signing off then?
We're signing off.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
This show is sponsored by Tubi's Woodworking. Tubi gives you wood. Also brought to you by Bitch Boy Undies. Get you a pair or else. You can follow the show on most social media at That Lil Gay Talk Show. Check out the website, thatlilgaytalks.com. Music and vocals by Jamie D of Diamond Cut Entertainment.